Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jimmy Treacle, and I'm giving you my last top 10 list of today. It is going to be my top 10 movies of 1985. And as always, before I do my top 10, I have several honorable mentions, and they are Teen Wolf, Fright Night, Summer Rental, uh, Desperately Seeking Susan, The Sure Thing, Death Wish 3, Clue, Real Genius, Silver Bullet, Just One of the Guys, Moving Violations, Mischief, and Into the Night. All great movies, just couldn't make my top 10 list. But at number 10, we have Spies Like Us. Number 9 is Mask. This is a true story about Rocky Dennis, who was disfigured in his face, um, and it tells the story of his last few months, where he starts a new school, starts to experience different things, and eventually meets a girl, and uh, really develops a relationship with her. It's about not only a relationship with a girl, but his mom, her many different boyfriends, her drug use. But this kid, Rocky Dennis, is really smart, and unfortunately, because of his rare disease, um, he didn't live. I think he was 15 or 16 when he died. But this is a great movie. Um, it's a tearjerker. I cry every time I watch it. Um, Eric Stoltz plays Rocky Dennis. You have Cher and Sam Elliott in this movie, along with a great supporting cast, and it is a fantastic movie. And definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. It's just great. Number 8 is National Lampoon's European Vacation. You have to excuse me; they're out there plowing the snow, being annoying. But it is European Vacation. And European Vacation has Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, but has two new kids to play Rusty and Audrey, as Anthony Michael Hall was doing Weird Science at the time. And of course, they weren't going to bring back Dana Barron if Anthony Michael Hall was going to come back. So that's why you see throughout each of the movies falling forward, they have two different characters playing Rusty and Audrey. But this follows the Griswolds as they win a European vacation on a game show, and it follows them throughout Europe, where they get into a lot of mischief. Uh, some consider this to be a bad movie. Some think it's okay. I personally really enjoy this movie. And so there's a lot of laughs. My favorite scene in this movie is when Clark is doing the dancing on the stage with the other gentleman. Uh, it's just a funny movie. Definitely not as great as the first movie. It's definitely not as great as Christmas Vacation, but it is a really funny, enjoyable movie. It is a popcorn movie. I watch it anytime it is on one of my movie channels. I don't watch the movies if they're on regular TV because there's just no point. But European Vacation comes in at number 8. Number 7 is St. Elmo's Fire. Now, I didn't watch this movie until the first time until I moved back home in 2015. It's got a great cast. You have Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore. It follows these friends from college after they graduate and how their lives leads to different directions. And eventually, uh, they don't all go their separate ways, but uh, they grow up and find themselves. And they always meet at this bar called St. Elmo's Fire, which is great. Emilio Estevez has a crush on another one, an older woman who's already seeing someone. Rob Lowe has a thing for Demi Moore's character. He plays an instrument, the saxophone, I believe. Judd Nelson's character and Ali Sheehan's character were married. They get a divorce and all this shenanigans happen, but it's a great movie. One that I enjoy and one I watch anytime it is on. Number 6 is Brewster's Millions. I've talked about this movie before, but Brewster's Millions stars Richard Pryor, John Candy, and they're both minor league baseball players for the Hackensack Bulls. Eventually, they get into a bar fight and are released from their contracts. Well, Mr. Brewster, played by Richard Pryor, is brought in to this law firm, and he finds out that he has a relative who had just recently passed, and there's a will that's to be read. And he finds out that his great-grandfather is white, and he's the sole living heir to his fortune that he had in oil and all this stuff. And so he makes him a deal. If he could spend $30 million in 30 days with nothing to show for it, no assets, no cars, no nothing, he would get the full $300 million inheritance. If he failed, he gets nothing. But there is a wimp clause in the will. He could take $1 million cash right now and just walk away. Or he could go for it, spend the $30 million in 30 days, and get the full inheritance of $300 million. And ultimately, he decides to take the challenge. And it's a lot of fun. He does a lot of smart things with this money. But the thing is, he can't tell anybody why he has to spend this money. He can't say nothing about it because it's automatic disqualification. So, thing I have to ask you, could you spend $30 million in 30 days with no assets? I think I could. I would have no problem doing that. But Brewster's Millions is a great movie. Definitely comes in at number 6. Number 5 is my favorite John Hughes movie of all time, and that is The Breakfast Club. If you haven't seen The Breakfast Club, you suck. No, this is a great movie. Again, a star-studded cast. You have Ali Sheedy, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Paul Gleason, and these 5 kids have a Saturday detention, and it follows them throughout their day of Saturday detention, all the mischief they get into, and they, in the third act, find out a lot about each other, and it's really heartfelt, tear-jerking, and it's real life, and they really open up about who they are and what pressures they have to go through, and they all lead different lives. You have the basket case, played by Ali Sheedy. You have the nerd, played by Anthony Michael Hall. You have the criminal, played by Judd Nelson. You have the jock, by Emilio Estevez. And you have the princess, played by Molly Ringwald. And they're all 5 different cliques. And I love this movie. The direction, the writing, everything about this movie is perfect. And it is the staple of not only 80s movies, but of John Hughes' genius. And rest in peace, by the way. But it is my favorite movie of his. And it today still goes down as one of the best in the 1980s. Number 4 is Fletch. Number 3 is Goonies. Hey, you guys. Number 2 is Rambo First Blood Part 2, which happens to be my favorite in the series. And my number 1 movie of 1985 is Back to the Future. Back to the Future is a great movie starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Crispin Glover, and originally Eric Stoltz was going to be Marty McFly, but after 6 weeks of shooting, they just didn't feel right and they didn't like the fit, so they begged the producers of Family Ties, which was what Michael J. Fox was doing at the time, to let him do this movie. So they worked it out to where Michael J. Fox would work on Family Ties during the day, and then at night he could work on Back to the Future. So basically, he was getting no sleep for several months. They said that he would end up just sleeping in his car for about 3 or 4 hours, and then he'd go in and shoot Family Ties, come back, do Back to the Future, and he did that for several months. But they got it done, and it was well worth it. But Back to the Future is considered to be one of the best movies, not only in the 1980s, but of all time. And I agree with that. And it's a great story. Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown is great. And I love movies about time travel when they're done right. And this trilogy actually is fantastic. And yeah, so there you have it. Those are my movies, top 10 movies of 1985. In the comment section below, if you have a top 10, drop it down there in the comments section. If you don't have a top 10, then just name a few that you love. And as always, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And stay tuned tomorrow morning for some more top 10s. I won't be doing any movie reviews as I am out of movies to watch right now. But on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 15th, look forward to my review of Halloween 2018, as I'll be watching it for the first time. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if there's any other movies that are new that'll be coming out that day, but that one I will definitely be watching. So look forward to that review on Tuesday. But till next time, I thank you guys for watching, and check you later.